Hello and welcome to week 3 of Introduction to Theater. Okay, so last week you talked about what is a play, and you talked about like how it's a really plays are just performances of stories. Um, and you did a little bit of analysis. So we're connecting what theater is and what plays are to analysis that you've probably already been introduced to, right? So the Freytag pyramid may be new, but it may not be new too. Like this is a way that we analyze stories in literature and all of those things, right? So I'm really looking forward to grading those because I learn so many new stories and so much new media just by watching those presentations. So thank you for adding to my life. Um, Also, the theater critic. So I am looking forward to reading those critical perspective statements. I'm going to give you some pretty specific, it'll take me a little longer to grade. I'm going to give you some pretty specific adjustments on those. And so when you write your first theatrical critique, do make sure that you go back and you look at the suggestions I offered. Okay, because writing those critical statements is really practice for writing your theatrical critique. So do be aware of that. Do use it for the tool that I'm hoping it is, and all of that. Also, I would like to introduce you to the automaton because this is the best thing ever. Extra credit for anybody who sends me a cool automaton music video. It'll be let's see, a learning activity extra credit. So, have you seen this? Oh, it's not on. Oh, you have to see this. Okay, it sings. Uh, yes, best instrument ever. You're welcome. Okay, silly note aside, let's talk about what's happening on the week. Okay, so this week we are going to start to talk about actors and we're going to talk about the playwright. Okay, so in the actor segment, let's see, I'm going to look at what I wrote. So we've got a lesson that's defining acting. This lesson is really looking at the textbook. Okay, so by the way, if you don't have your textbook yet, you really want to get your textbook. Right now, there's a lot of lecture videos that are kind of filling in the gaps of that textbook, but there are fewer of those as we progress throughout the semester. Okay, so please make sure you get your textbook, especially by the time we get to the history section. The exam 2 is completely based on the textbook. Okay, so we've got these lessons. Some of them are me talking over PowerPoint. I know they're kind of boring, but we'll get through them. And I tried to make them short. And then you're going to take a quiz. It's one of those quizzes you can take as many times as you want, defining acting. And then we're going to look at the different schools of acting. So the schools of acting, here's the deal, is I don't need you to really spend all of your time watching all of those videos. There is an abundance of information there. Watch one that you like. Watch the beginnings of a bunch of them. The idea is to give you a taste for how many different philosophies there are for approaching actor training and for approaching a character, right? There's a ton of different schools. And the reason there's a ton of different schools is because everybody is different. And different schools speak to different people, and different schools speak to different people at different times in their lives. Okay, so I think it's cool. And then there's going to be a quick quiz. It's another one of those, take it as many times as you want. And so now, to give you a taste of being an actor, your assignment for Module 1.4, that module assignment, you're going to perform a monologue. So you can choose from a number of those monologues. You can cut them down to make them shorter. And you're going to submit it over Flipgrid, but you're going to memorize the text and then you will deliver the words as sincerely as possible. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to seeing you do that. And then I'm also really looking forward to hearing your response on it. Like, what was that like for you? Okay, so after we talk about acting, The second module you're doing this week is you're doing module 1.5, the playwright. So in the playwright, you've got a lesson, the playwright chapter 13. You are learning what a playwright does, how they think about what they're doing, all of that stuff. And then there is a quiz that's going to quiz you primarily on the textbook lectures. So you'll see that first page. There's a whole bunch of videos. And there's a lot of videos with playwrights talking about their process on that playwright chapter 13 page. The quiz is really going to be based on the lectures with my voice. But I do feel like the lectures with the actual playwrights talking flesh out the information so much better than I ever could. Like they're just beautiful human beings, and their process is super cool. I understand you may not feel that way about them, so I do not expect you to watch all of those videos. Watch the lectures on the textbook. That's going to be the bare minimum, and it'll get you through. The others give you context. So then you have this playwrights on playwriting. And as you will see, there's going to be a Flipgrid assignment after that. The playwrights on playwriting, pick your favorite. And you're going to be asked to answer a bunch of questions in that Flipgrid. Okay? So just be ready as you're watching the playwrights on playwriting video to take notes. Take notes on their process and stuff like that. And then finally, the last assignment in the module 1.5, the playwright, is you get to test your skills. And I'm not going to ask you to write a play yet. Although there's a project later where you're going to get a chance to do that if you want to. For this one, you're just going to do observation exercises. So observation exercises are exercises that playwrights either use to A, gain new ideas, or B, sharpen their skills at dialogue and observation. Okay? So you're going to get to experiment with how might a playwright get new ideas? How might a playwright start to write dialogue? Okay? So those are the assignments, the major assignments due this week. The observation exercises, they shouldn't take you a lot of time. It's going to be like an hour, maybe. Just make sure you have a timer with you. And if you do it on your keyboard, you can like have it done in that hour. It'll be pretty quick. Memorizing the monologue is going to take a little more time. So make sure that you give yourself the space to do that. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. The automaton will be here when you get back. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.